One of the things that I was so humbled about in the last 2 years is to see what TEDx is doing in the developing world. Now, this is TEDx Kibera. They actually throw a sheet over corrugated metal, and the local village people give a TED Talk. It's fascinating to see how they're utilizing that, and it's amazing to see how the concept is playing itself out in the rural developing the world as well as it is in cities, and that there's an interesting thread that brings it throughout. I think I just lost my slide there. Oh, and then with Africa. In the case of Africa, you know, the themes that we are seeing in Africa is innovation in poverty, mobile technology, blogging, and agriculture. And it's interesting for us to see the kinds of issues that they're taking on and the themes of talks that they're curating. In the Middle East, we're seeing a whole push toward what's happening with political change and human rights and hope, and the kinds of groups and themes that they're coming around is really showing us how the people want to be so close to that as it relates to ideas. And in Asia, it's interesting for us to see that we have almost 800 small volunteer groups that are coming together around TED Talks, covering a number of different subjects. In Asia, we're seeing this huge trend toward youth, personal development, the role of technology, and social entrepreneurs.
You know, I just want to share that some of the most profound journeys in our life start with very simple questions. And for me, you know, my father visited me in '95 in California. I've been away since 1983. He visited me in California. I was working at Intel, kind of showing off to him, you know, look what I have become, and introduced him to Andy Grove, took him to lunch, and just sort of a little bit of showing off. And my dad totally enjoyed my success, like all fathers do. And before he left, he asked me, he said, "This is all great, but what are you doing for two of your homes? What are you doing to bring the richest democracy that's America and the largest democracy that's India? What are you doing about it?" He just asked, and that was it. And in '97, he passed away. And like most of the things, you know, sometimes we have awareness when something is no longer there. And that question kept haunting me. You know, it's great I'm having a success in a career, etc., but what am I doing about the question that he asked? So I thought I should first leave Intel before I start thinking about it. So after being there for 12 years, I left. And I went on various journeys. I became a venture capitalist. I thought investing in India is the way to go about it. Then I went into nonprofit. We raised almost $30 million for various causes in India. I traveled all across the villages, putting computers in really poor schools, teaching them how to get on the web. I've done various things. And here is what I found. Is, you know, the first point that Rhonda talked about, which is youth. The young people that I met were so full of enthusiasm, so full of ideas. They had no encumbrance of any baggage. And they had all these ideas, but unfortunately not many of us were listening. And I really felt that this demographic dividend that we have will become a demographic disillusionment if we don't do something about it. So I kept thinking, I started my own company with a friend of mine, and we thought, why not bring TED to India? So I went to, because I really thought we need to tell stories. We need to tell stories of the most amazing people that are around and create new role models. Our whole goal is, when I met these youth, I asked them, what do you want to become? It was either Bill Gates or somebody else. It was either movies or money. There's nothing else. There are no role models we are giving them. But they're craving, they're looking for new role models. So they're saying, if I don't become a billionaire by the time I'm 30, am I a failure? You know, so what is my measure of success? So we started talking to them, and I really felt, you know what? We need to create new role models for them. So we brought TED to India because my ulterior motive was, if we create new role models out of here, put them on a global stage and make them really, really successful, I think we have an answer to our youth to say, here are the new generation of role models. One of my most favorite quotes is that life ought not to be measured in the number of breaths we take, but in the number of breathtaking moments we experience. So we want to celebrate people who create those moments for all of us. So we want a new measure of success. We want the Fortune or Forbes or whoever to work with us on creating a new measure of success and celebrating the billionaires of moments you met on this stage.